Hey folks, I've been hiking the Cranberry Lake Preserve for years now, and it's still one of my favorite spots. The Cranberry Lake Preserve sits between two protected watershed properties, one for New York City and the other for White Plains. In fact, there's an abandoned quarry here. The stone from this quarry was used to build the nearby Kensico Dam. And if you're ever here, step off the trail. There's an old wagon road here, and it passes old foundations, much like foundations you'd find in the woods anywhere around here. And there are stone walls, straight and sturdy. And then there's this. This was once the home of Jimmy Johnson, better known as Jimmy Under the Rock. After a family dispute, Jimmy left home as a young man. And from that point forward, Jimmy lived as a hermit, right here under this massive boulder. Now here is a picture of Jimmy Johnson. And here is an old photograph of the house that Jimmy Under the Rocks built. To get an idea of scale, take a look at the man standing by the door. It's amazing how much stone Jimmy moved to make his home. And he made it not just for him, but for his animals. He had goats, pigs, chickens, he had a cow, and a horse for plowing and transportation. The ruins of Jimmy's stable are still here, and there are odd walls and shelters throughout the woods. Only Jimmy would know what all these structures were used for. Apparently, Jimmy Johnson was also a skilled farmer. In this remote ravine, far away from normal society, Jimmy Johnson was self-sufficient. But even Jimmy Under the Rock would occasionally have to ride into White Plains to buy supplies. And it's said that when Jimmy left for home, he mounted his horse backwards so he could wave goodbye to his city friends. Now Jimmy built his house with windows and a door, and he laid flat fieldstone for a floor, and there was a large wood-burning stove. He used it for cooking and to heat the place. But there was one problem that plagued Jimmy Under the Rock: copperhead snakes. In those days, these hills were full of them. But Jimmy had a solution. He hung an old wagon cart from bolts in the ceiling. He used it as his bed. And at night, Jimmy Under the Rock would climb up a ladder to his suspended bed and pull the ladder up after him. And there he slept, sound and secure in the knowledge that no copperheads could reach him. Jimmy Under the Rock lived alone here for many years. And then, one winter, Jimmy Johnson caught pneumonia and passed away. The exact date of his death is unknown, and I've seen dates ranging from 1875 to the early 1880s, and his age at the time of death is uncertain. And there are no records that have been found to show where he was buried. What is left of Jimmy Johnson's house under the rock is still very impressive, even after all these years. And the amount of work that Jimmy Johnson must have put into this remote ravine to make a home for himself is staggering to think of. And how his desire to be left alone must have been all-encompassing. Well, that's it for Jimmy Under the Rock, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.